Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the Economic Times Digital Roundtable, Power of Active Intelligence, Transcending Collaboration Beyond the Last Mile, powered by Click. Information is the oil of the 21st century, and analytics is the combustion engine, said Peter Sondergaard. Companies, to, companies looking to breach the veil of uncertainty and weaving resilience into their DNA for future shocks are focusing on gathering more data to unlock new revenue options. This data has enormous potential for helping a firm thrive and for assisting executives in making real time decisions. However, this can only happen if this data is used to its full potential in order to generate useful insights. And business intelligence can prove to be more useful in these tumultuous times if it is relayed in a real time manner. Active intelligence seems to be the answer. It provides analytics ready data along with the most updated information in real time. With an amalgamation of the data at rest and data in motion, it represents the pulse of the data, providing business insights and creating an intelligent data to analytics pipeline. Businesses can prepare themselves for unexpected situations in future by using active intelligence as it can help in anticipating the upcoming trends. It provides more detailed insights thanks to AI-powered analytics. Active intelligence also represents the business movement by adding business logic to analytics-ready data, transforming it into business-ready data and enabling collaboration among all data personas. To set the context of this significant roundtable, it is my pleasure to welcome today's keynote speaker, Chenkwon, better known as CK, who is the Senior Director Solutions and Value Engineering at Click. His team focuses on business value consulting and advises top strategic clients in Asia Pacific to create strategic, well-aligned data and analytic solutions. As a design thinking practitioner, he often incorporates human-centered design to help organizations transform their business by adopting data-first culture and sustainable data-driven practices. He brings to his role over 15 years of progressive experience in consulting, product marketing, and industry sales within the analytics and technology space. Over to you, CK.
Thanks, Rakishori. Just gonna share my screen here, and hope everyone can see it.
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and good morning, Purnima. So I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. Great pleasure to be here today to discuss on the topic of active intelligence. I guess we can all agree this has been a very disruptive 18 months for all of us, both personally as well as the way we conduct our business. Well, I think we all agree that we have reduced the face-to-face interaction. I think pandemic has definitely made a great use of digital platform, like we are all today gathering from all three corners of the world. Now, also, I think what we see is there's this whole opportunities, right, for organization, like the data group of companies, to continue to innovate and provide even more innovative product and services within India as well as worldwide. Now, having a culture of innovations allows organization to respond quickly to challenges, and data itself, right, provides invaluable opportunities for companies to innovate. However, I think to do this, you need to arm first your people and also your system with up-to-date real-time information. And Click, we believe the answer to achieving this holy grail is active intelligence. Now, to give you a better idea of what I mean, by active intelligence, I'll run through a couple of slides and then, we're going to a discussion moderated by Purnima. Now, I think, as I said, it's been more than a year and a half. Our regions, continues to do the disruptions and new changes. But I think most of you will agree with me, right? During this period of time, right, we have cultivated a culture of innovation, and this is what is becoming a must for all businesses to really move from defensive to offensive mode in the market, as we want to come up more resilience financially as well as expanding out the market share. But again, the questions from some of you might be asking, why does innovation matter? Shouldn't we, play it safe, minimize risk during this period? Doesn't it make more sense? Should we invest in technology, or should we make more sense to conserve resources and cut down investment? Well, I think innovative organization turns out that they are expected to cover faster from the pandemic. According to a recent survey by IDC, almost half of the leaders interviewed there in the APAC region believe they will recover from the pandemic in 6 months or less. And in fact, 50% of these leaders, compared with the rest that was interviewed, expect an increase in revenue, and 1 in 3 is expected to increase their market share. Again, this is a real golden opportunity for the big brands and the companies to come out stronger. And some of this tactic could be adapting the core of your business, identifying and addressing new opportunity areas created by the changing landscape and regulation. And this is also a good opportunity to reevaluate the innovation initiative portfolio of the company and ensure that resources are allocated appropriately. Again, this is about setting up a foundation for the post-crisis growth. Now, in order to achieve this culture innovation, I kind of wanted to refer to a study, or rather to a methodology that was a concept that was developed by Professor Michael Witt from the IMD organization. So he says, companies that possess this digital business agility responds quicker and more effective to emerging threats to their business. And at the same time, they will be able to seize new market opportunity before their rivals even notice it. I think some of the example that we always see in industries, how we compare Fujifilm versus Kodak, right, in the same digital camera environment. Now it's really one being very defensive and one being offensive, which is really around Fujifilm. Now, what's the three pillars to this? Is first is about hyper awareness. It's really about the ability to detect and monitor changes in the business environment, right? Hyper-aware company are less likely to be taken by surprise because you have all the information about yourself, the market, and the competitor, and you can sense their vulnerabilities, right? Because then you can adjust your models quickly, right? And an example is, you can quickly understand. Now, I'll point out, for example, Ashish and Tata Communication, right? You serve a lot of customers. You'll be able to understand why the customers are dissatisfied, and understand why, right? The products are delivered through the current value chain. And similarly, for Tata AIG and as well as TCS, right? When you become aware of your competitive landscape, then you understand the strengths and weaknesses of the traditional rivals that they have. But more importantly, the potentials or the impacts of the new line of business. Of course, we see a whole new line of business coming out for the non-insurance company and saying, I start to bring dynamic insurance. And so, I think from TCS standpoint, there's a lot of boutique consulting coming out, right? So again, it's really about being able to react with this information. Now, the most important piece, I think everyone would agree, is really the ability to carry out these plans quickly and effectively. You need to be informed at every single step, right? At the speed of data, right? And this is our topic today because I think we are so used to data that is as of yesterday on a monthly basis, weekly basis. Now, business want to move at the speed of data when it comes in. It could be transactional data that comes in. It could be CDR information they're receiving. It could be core details information. You want to react to this, right? And this is where data comes into play again, right? At the centerpiece of all of this. Now, the emerging of all these new use cases, not just necessary analytics, but could be machine learning. Also, some of the downstream use cases that you'll be making use of data to serve your customer better, to work better with your supplier. All this represent a shift the way we do analytics and deal with data, right? I suspect, this may look very familiar with some of you, right? You remember, Gartner had this diagram that talks about the shift from descriptive to diagnostic to predictive and prescriptive. In fact, many organizations still uses that as a maturity model. Where I click, we favor a different view here. As you can see, we focus on the way we do analytics and the type of data that enable us to do the different types of analytics or apply it to the new use cases. Again, it could be machine learning as well, not necessarily just report and dashboarding. And this is where we see active intelligence providing the true value, not replacing what went before, but embracing, right, and building on that. Now, the ability to apply, different analytics practices to increasing real-time data. And I say real-time data, maybe a discussion, what exactly is real-time data, but in my own sense, it's really about the speed of data that's coming in, right? Business needs to have that information. And add on to that, it must be governed, it must be trusted, and encompass, most importantly, the business logic. Right, they drive more value in just asking what we do. So to put that a little bit in context again, the promise of active intelligence, like kind of sharing in the previous slide, is to allow the business, right, to tap on the pulse of the business, right, at any point of time, at the strategy time when you execute it, during the executions, and even after that, you want to be able to analyze this information. Again, where ourselves at Click, over a decade ago, we help organizations to move from passive, from stack BI solutions to reactive. Now we are on the journey to be your partner to move from reactive to augmented, and eventually that's where we are looking to is active intelligence. Now, this is our vision, right? So over the last 5 years, you can see that we have grown organically, right? Introducing more connective capabilities into our associative engine, but also we also start to acquire companies with new capabilities, particularly on the data integration side. And this is where we believe to truly activate active intelligence, we must be able to close the gap that results in information silos, right? Ultimately, from this picture, you can see there's really three parts to it. First is really delivering the components, right? To deliver data, right? To replicate the data from your source system, be it mainframes, be it a SAP system, SaaS platforms, files into a target system. And many of us is, or many of our customers is actually adopting cloud. And cloud data warehouse seems to be the next generation of data lake. Again, we want to be helping our customers to move the data there in the most efficient and most reliable way to doing so. And on top of that, this is where the analytics space comes in, right? Now, the data, we also want the analytics space, gone are the days that, users are, looking at dashboards. Today, when I speak to my users, they say, CK, I want the dashboard to tell me what we need to be doing, telling me insights that we're not gone. And this is where we felt that the combination of AI with data coming in, and this is the approach that we call augmented intelligence, right? Ability to help the users using technology, right, to discover more insights within the data. Last but not least is really around the data literacy. We believe that data literacy is similar to linguistic skills, right? You need to learn it in this new world, right? You need to be able to read the charts and the visualization and able to interpret and get an insights of that. I don't want to keep this presentation too long. I'll hold it at this here, and love to hear your views as well. And looking forward to the exchange that Punima is going to host here. Back to you, Punima.
Thank you, CK, for such an enriching session. For today's roundtable, we have a stellar lineup of seasoned experts who will deliberate upon unleashing the power of active intelligence to address today's data-driven demands. They'll shed light on how active intelligence enables businesses to not only outperform the competition, but also to adapt and respond quickly to changing situations. They will touch upon topics like the status of active intelligence adoption, how to tackle business problems using active intelligence, how data pipelines enable quick decisions, and business outcomes that active intelligence may help you accomplish. For the Economic Times Digital Roundtable, Power of Active Intelligence, Transcending Collaboration Beyond the Last Mile, powered by Click, I'm delighted to welcome today's panel moderator, Purnima Ramaswamy, Executive Vice President, Global Solutions and Partners at Click. Purnima leads a multidisciplinary team that blends alliances, channel strategy, consulting, and education services, as well as value engineering. Her team designs and executes transformational strategies for large enterprise customers to maximize the value of their overall investments in Click's data integration and analytics platforms. Purnima joined Click from Cognizant and has more than 20 years of experience across a variety of industries. Over to you, Purnima.
Thanks, Raiko Shuri. I'm very happy to host this panel and very excited to hear from Subhashish, Ashish, and Pankaj about their data and analytics journey and where they see the role of analytics and data in their organizations transforming their industries over the next few years. As CK mentioned, the world has actually changed. It's rapidly changed more than what any one of us expected over the last 18 to 24 months. It's been very interesting to watch how organizations have adapted and adopted to the new ways of working, to the new ways of transacting, to the new ways of commerce. And that's actually helped the momentum not only from a digital perspective, but more importantly, from a perspective of adoption of data and analytics within every part of the business and putting it in every person's hands within an organization itself. And the Tata Group is well known for adopting new technologies and being at the forefront of it and leading various industries. So, very happy to welcome Subhashish Mazumdar from TCS, Ashish Goyal from Tata Communications, and Pankaj Agarwal from Tata AIG for this discussion and to hear from them. With that, I'm going to introduce each of the panelists and more importantly, request the panelists to introduce themselves. We'll start with Subhashish Mazumdar. He's a good friend and a customer as well. Subhashish is at TCS. He joined TCS internal IT team Ultimatex in August 2005. And out of personal discussions, I am aware about how TCS has adopted data really rapidly over the last 18 to 24 months. They are, of course, always at the forefront of leveraging new technologies, and Subhashish has been at the helm of leading this change and charge. Subhashish, if you could introduce yourself a little bit, please.
Yeah, good afternoon and good morning, everybody. So I'm Subhashish Majumdar. I'm based out of Kolkata. So I joined TCS in the year 1995, right? And I graduated or I completed my master's in 1992, and then I was with another company for 2-3 years, and then from 1995 till I'm in TCS. So you can say that I'm a very hardcore, Tata person over here. For the first few years, right, I worked in my different assignments. Right, I was in UK for some time. I was in Malaysia doing the digitization of the Malaysian railways, ticketing and reservations, and train operations and management system. Then I was in US, Seattle, and then Richmond. I was working with GE Capitals, doing their some kind of the mutual fund business, helping them digitization that part of my, this GE